there, it's Carol with Carolbcrafts. Today we'll be making this lovely Christmas card. It's Project 1 in my Christmas Gleaming class to go. Check out my website www.carolbcrafts.com to see what current class to go kit I'm offering. Now we'll be using the Christmas Gleaming stamps and the Gleaming Ornaments punches. This is sold as a bundle right now in our holiday catalog. For the inside sentiment, I'm using the Greatest Part of Christmas stamps, which is a host set of stamps. Now this is an exclusive stamp set which is only available through our Host Rewards program. If you'd like to find out how you can get the Greatest Part of Christmas stamp set as a gift from me, just contact me at carolbcrafts@hotmail.com and I'll give you all the details. Now we'll also be using for our ink the new Delicata Celestial Copper ink pad, and it's gorgeous. For adhesives, you'll want your mini glue dots, your mini dimensionals, your snail, and your multi-purpose glue. For tools, you want your scissors, your take your pick tool or whatever pointy tool you use, and your bone folder. And I'll be using my Stamparatus, but you can use whatever stamp positioner that you have. So I'll give the supplies and dimensions as we go along so that you can make this card as well, even if you don't have the kit, as long as you have the items that you need to purchase. So I like to start with our stamping, and I'll get my Stamparatus out. It's configured for rubber stamps because that's what we'll be using. So I have my Celestial Copper ink and my Christmas Gleaming stamps. We'll start with those. And from our kit, we'll get the things that we're going to need to stamp. We'll be stamping on this piece of Very Vanilla, and we'll be stamping on these labels here that you'll see. We have those two little labels there, and we'll be stamping on this piece of Very Vanilla here for our ornaments. Everything else I'm going to put aside. Try not to lose any of my little goodies there. So I guess the first thing that we'll stamp will be our ornaments. We're going to stamp one of the large ornaments and one of the small ornaments. And I'm going to use this pattern one here and then this small one here. I'll put my paper up in the corner, my cardstock up in the corner there. I'll start by stamping this one. Now because of the way the punch is, you put it in this way. So if you are right-handed, you will want to turn this so that the ornament is upside down. So the top is here and now the top is here, so that when you go to stamp it, you'll want to have it there. Now if you're left-handed, you'll want to have it right side up, if that makes sense. It'll make sense later. So put it, if you're right-handed, put it on upside down. Just that's all you need to know. If you're left-handed, put it on right side up. And we're going to ink that up with our Celestial Copper. I'll slide it back in the corner. I'm going to do that again. And you probably will have to do it 2 or 3 times to really get a nice rich image. Put it back in the corner. I think that's good, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to turn it around, clean off my stamp. Now we're going to do the other ornament, and again we're going to put it near the top. Make sure it's in the corner. The cardstock's in your corner, so you can always reposition it if you need to. So this is going to be upside down again, and it's going to be near the top edge. And we'll stamp that. Hopefully, well, don't want to get these too close together. It's kind of hard to keep this paper from lifting because that ink is so sticky. It's a pigment ink, so it's sticky and it likes to pull that cardstock up. Okay, we're going to let those dry and I'll clean up this stamp. Next we will do the sentiment on the front with our little labels. Now these labels, I'll tell you, they come from, oh, and this piece of very vanilla, it was 4 by 2 3/4. 4 by 2 3/4, just, I forgot to tell you. This label came from the Ornate Frames dies. And the Ornate Frames dies, I also got this part here, this blue, navy blue scroll type background, also came from this one here, from the same set. And it is a bundle right now with the Monster Bash Halloween stamps that we are selling in our holiday catalog. So I have a piece of scratch paper, and you'll also want to grab your 4 by 6 piece of window sheet that you get with each first Class to Go kit that you get from me. We're going to stamp Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. So I'll get that stamp. We'll put it here, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, right about there. And I'll pick that stamp up. Now we're going to take this little piece of label here, a little bit of snail, and attach it to our scratch paper so that we can slide that under our plastic. We'll make our guiding impression here. Just ink that up lightly, doesn't have to be perfect, just for our guiding image. And now we can slide this underneath, and the flat parts here, it's like longer this way, so you'll know which way to put it on there. Just going to fit that in so that it looks good to you. When you're happy with it, put your magnets on and remove the plastic to hold that down. We'll ink up our stamp again with our Celestial Copper. Make sure we get it good and covered, and down it goes. Bring it up lightly. I'm going to do it one more time just so it has nice rich color. Down and up. Okay, so that's ready. I do give you an extra one in case you have a problem, but hopefully you didn't. I'll clean this stamp off, and I'll clean off my plastic because I'll be using that again. I'm just going to dry it off with some microfiber cloth. So for the next, for the inside sentiment, you'll be using whatever sentiment stamps you want to use. Again, like I said, I'm going to be using the Greatest Part of Christmas, which is the host stamp. You can't purchase this. You can only get it through using your host rewards, but I'll be glad to help you get your own set if you just want to email me. I'll be using Wishing You a Christmas of Smiles and Love that will last all year. So I'm going to put that down here at the bottom. Find my magnet there and pick that up. Now this is very vanilla. It is a 3.5 by 4 3/4 that I will be stamping on. Ink up my stamp. I'll slide this underneath and line it up. So when you're happy with where it's at, just push it down, remove your plastic, push down your magnets, make sure that's going to clear. Yes, it will. Ink up your stamp. And I'll do that one more time. beautiful ink. Has that beautiful metallic shine. Okay, I think I might do that one more time, just lightly. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, so that's ready, and we'll let that dry. I'll clean this stamp off, and we are done with our stamping. So this should be dry enough to punch now, and you can see why I had you punch stamp it upside down, so that you could have something to hold on to it here with your left hand. Okay, and then we'll get our other punch, the smaller one, and do the same thing. And it's that easy to have beautiful ornaments for the front of your card. We'll bring in our label and our inside sentiment panel. And here's the rest of the goodies from our class kit. We'll find our groove and fold away on our thick, very vanilla cardstock. It's just the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we have our DSP, and this is the brightly gleaming DSP. It has some beautiful copper foil in there. Make sure that your ornaments are hanging down and not up. We'll put that on our card. But I believe before we do that, we want to, yes, we do. We want to put some ribbon on there. So not yet. We're going to go ahead and, this is the inside. So well, let's go ahead and do the inside. So the inside sentiment is going to go on a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5. I'll do that with some snail, and then I'll put it on the inside of my card. Okay, so now that's ready. Now we're going to start with the front of our card. We'll get a piece of Night of Navy, which is 3 1/8 by 4 by 3 1/8, 4 by 3 1/8. It's going to go here, and then we're going to have a piece of Pretty Peacock that is 2 3/4 by 4, and it's going to go here with just about 1/8 of an inch showing. So we'll go ahead and put our Pretty Peacock. Now this has been embossed with our subtle folder. So if you wanted to make more, you would want to emboss your Pretty Peacock 2 3/4 by 4 by 2 3/4. So we'll put that on with some snail. About 1/8 of an inch from the top. And if you need to trim the edge, which it looks like I do, you can do that with your scissors. This is going to go on your front of your card, and it looks like it is about 5/8 of an inch from the top, or thereabouts. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'll put that on with some snail. Okay, that's looking good. Now I'm going to put on some ribbon, and we have a 6-inch piece of let's see, what is this? Very vanilla copper ribbon. It is the classic weave ribbon. Let's see, before we do that though, we're going to put our, we have a piece of copper metallic sheet paper, metallic paper. It's 4 by 3 1/4. It's going to go down here, and we're going to leave again about a 1/16 of an inch distance there. So I'll just put that on with some snail. 1/16 of an inch. Just want a little bit peeking through, or thereabouts. And again, if it sticks over, you can trim it. Looks like it did a little bit there. Now we'll put the ribbon on, and it's going to go in the center of your copper metallic strip there. I'll put some adhesive on the back where I know that that ribbon is going to need to catch. Put it in the middle of my copper paper and just kind of push that back into the adhesive. Center it. Push that into the adhesive. Looks like I need a little bit more adhesive there. I didn't put it exactly where it needed to be. So center it and bring it around and push it through. And now it's ready to go on the front of our card. Just like that. And I'll put that on with some glue, with some adhesive. Just our snail. Maybe put some here on the ribbon too, help it stay in place. I'm going to take a glue dot and take your pick tool and just pick up, try to keep it flat, and kind of stick it here underneath. Lift that up just a little bit. Stick it underneath and push it down so it kind of stays in place. That will be covered up by our Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. Speaking of which, we're going to go put that on our navy blue decorative backing for our label. That also came from that same set, the Ornate Frames dies. I'm just going to center that on there so it looks nice. Very good. Let's see, I put that on with mini dimensionals, and we're going to put mini dimensionals not over where the ribbon is, but just above and below where the ribbon is. So I've removed the backing, and that's ready to go right about there. Make sure that it's level with the edge of your card. And that looks about right. That looks good. Let's push that down. Now we're going to put our ornaments on with some glue dots. These are these are going to be intertwined like that, and this is going to be what your ornaments are hanging from. It'll be kind of like that. There's adhesive backing on the back, and these die cuts came from the Stitched Stars framelits. I'm using this right here. This little looks like a S die. That's what I used to make those. I used the copper metallic paper. So we're going to kind of put these, kind of put them down where I want them to be kind of temporary so that I can get an idea about placement. Looks like I need to move it over just a tad. That looks good. So I'm going to get my glue dots out and take that up, put some glue dots, maybe 1, 2, 3 and just slide that where it will be straight and it will look like it is dangling from that copper piece. And then I'm going to do this one over here, get my copper back in place, make sure that it's going to look natural, and bring that down a little bit. It might be a little difficult to work with, but not impossible. Okay, I think that is going to be good, so I will get my glue dots again. And it's going to go right there. Okay, so these I'm going to take the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. Take the backing off the other one. Okay, so now I've got them intertwined, and I'm just going to put them so that it looks like they are hanging from these decorative pieces here. And I'm just going to push them down. Now, to kind of make that a little more festive, we have some large, 2 large and 1 small rhinestone basic jewels, and I've colored them with the blunt or the bullet tip of the dark Night of Navy. I just colored them with our Stampin' blends. These color really nice with Stampin' blends. Now, when I did these, I put them up at the top, but I have since decided that maybe they would look better down here, just a little below. You decide which you think looks better. Up at the top, you can put it up at the top, or you can put it down below. I actually think this looks better, but that's your choice. And then this last little one, just going to go over here on the kind of the bottom left corner, just above the H, just for a little interest there. Okay, that is our card. It's finished and it's gorgeous, and I hope that you enjoyed making that with me. So this was card number 1 in my Christmas Gleaming class to go. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, to see what current class to go kit I'm offering. Thanks for watching. Bye now.